What is up, everybody, and welcome to Everything's Plastic. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Bandai Dragon Star series, and this is the Super Saiyan Future Trunks Fusion Zamasu 2-pack. Dragon Stars on the top, Zamasu on this side, and we have Trunks on this side, which is a pretty cool image of Trunks. And we have a big picture on the back. Dragon Stars up top, Dragon Ball Super up in the corner. Super Saiyan Future Trunks versus Fusion Zamasu. Other than that, everybody, not much else to show you guys with the packaging on this one. So for accessories, we have quite a few accessories. First thing we'll take a look at is this little base, little clear translucent plastic base that goes around Trunks' foot. I'm guessing when he actually has this piece in his hands. A pretty cool effect piece, if I'm being completely honest. And we have this other accessory here, which is a broken sword. But this piece here actually goes in and snaps in. You gotta push hard on this one and it will actually snap into place, which in turn gives you a big sword. Also for accessories, on the back here we have Trunks' sheath, and this little piece here kind of ports into the top. If you want to have the sword, he has another sword as well. If you want to have this sword in his hand, then obviously you can just take this little effect piece out. The handle obviously is the same for all three swords. It wouldn't make much sense if it wasn't. And for Zamasu, we have one extra open hand, and we have a fisted hand on this side. And for Trunks, we have two of these open kind of grabbing hands, which are kind of cool. And we have we have one sword holding hand for the left side, and we have a fisted hand for this side. So in total, two open grabbing hands, two hands, sword holding hands, and two fisted hands. So 3 sets of hands in total for Trunks. Alright, that wraps up accessories. Let's get down to the figures, and we'll start with Trunks. Overall, I really like the appearance of this one. I think they did a great job on this one. The paint application is pretty decent. The only issue, which is a kind of like a modern nitpick, is in around his hair, we usually see with these Dragon Ball characters that there is a little bit of paint kind of gathered up. Blobs of paint, which is kind of understandable because there's so many different spikes and all that stuff. So other than that though, all the other paint on this one looks pretty awesome, I gotta say. We do have a tear or a rip or a cut in his pants over on this side, so we do have some damage to his pants. His boots and all that stuff are painted nice and clean as well. So to be completely honest, I think they did a great job on Future Trunks. Nothing really to complain about. Like I said, the only modern little nitpick is the globs of paint in his hair. And as for Zamasu, this one looks cool as well. This is fusion version of Zamasu. So we see that he's purple on one side, green on the other. The paint application on both sides are pretty awesome. The earring is painted nice and clean over on the side. Just a small piece, but it's actually done really well. His hair is painted decent as well. No real globs or any kind of paint buildup or anything like that, whatever you want to call it, in his hair. So his hair is nice and clean. And even on the back here, we see that the little split here, the green and purple split, kind of carries over onto his neck. And as for his arm is pretty cool. Just a solid piece of purple plastic, and we have a ring going around his finger there, which is painted pretty decent. All the lines here are painted nice. The buttons painted nice as well. A little bit of gray showing through, but it's not too bad. And everything else is nice and clean. Boots are just white plastic anyway, so no paint on that. But yeah, two pretty cool looking figures. We had a closer look at both. Let's go over articulation. So for his head, goes back this far, forward this far, some side to side, full rotation all the way around. For this shoulder, it goes up this far. Obviously, it's going to be restricted. His garment, or whatever you want to call his clothes, robe, whatever the case may be, is actually a hard plastic. So it's going to restrict articulation. You're not going to get a full rotation. You can kind of come out to the side if you really want to. A little drop down here. No butterfly joint or anything like that. Just almost like a ball joint here. So you get a little bit of added articulation. There's rotation at the base. We have a bicep swivel. Double jointed pin elbows, which are pretty cool. Decent range of motion out of those. So over on this side, the arm goes up this far. So pretty decent range of motion over on this side. This is an awkward figure to handle. So I would recommend kind of heating this one up. It does pop out, and very careful with that peg. if you don't heat them up. We have double jointed pin elbows, which you get a decent range of motion. Considering that it's such a big arm, not a bad range of motion at all. And as for the lower body, obviously, like I previously mentioned, this roll part is a hard plastic. So you're going to get very, very restricted articulation out of that. So his legs only come open this far. It only goes forward this far, back this far. Very, very restricted. You do get a full rotation if you want it. And for his ankle, it goes back this far, forward this far, and you get a full rotation out of it. So this guy is very, very restricted and very, very awkward because it's so heavy on one side and very, very light on the other side. But guy can actually stand up pretty good most of the time. You might have to play around and balance him a little bit, but for the most part, doesn't take that much effort. And let's get down to Trunks. I'm going to take his sheath off there. For his articulation, his head goes back this far, forward this far, side to side, full rotation all the way around. So very, very limited movement in his head. Shoulders go up this far, which is not a bad range of motion. We have a full rotation there. We have a bicep swivel as well that goes all the way around. We have double jointed elbows, which you get a decent range of motion out of that as well. There's no ab joint or anything like that, but you do get a rotation down here. So there is a little peg down here. So you get a full swivel all the way around. For his legs, it goes out this far, forward this far, back this far. So it's kind of restricted. And for his legs, we have single jointed knees, which go back this far. So a little above 90 degrees. And for his ankles, it goes back this far, forward this far, and all the way around. There is a drop down as well for a little bit of added articulation, but you don't get a whole lot with these Bandai Dragon Stars. Especially this one. This one is somewhat limited as well. So still a cool figure though. If you guys want to switch out his hand, this one just pops off and the other one just slides right on. Same thing for Trunks. So his sheath kind of just pops on right here. And like I said, we have this one here if you just want to pop that in, which looks good all the way around, to be completely honest. If you want to take this out and put a sword in his hand, you can do that as well. It kind of fits in nice and easy. Sword looks good, looks cool. I like it. And if you want to put this other one in, we can get this piece here. That just slides in, push down, nice and hard. That is a big whopping sword. I would imagine that, let's pop on the other hand because he's going to have to two-hand this one. Sometimes these Bandais are a pain in the bum. So, it's a big sword. Kind of makes this guy a little bit awkward. So I'm guessing that's why they put this little base here, just to give him a little bit more stability. And if you want to get him to stand up, you're going to have to turn him around a little bit and pop it into place here on the bottom like so. And there we have it. Let me move that camera back here to give you guys a full wide angle of how this guy looks. I like it. Looks fantastic. So yeah guys, that pretty much wraps up our unboxing and figure review. This one is a little bit longer than I would like. Obviously we are dealing with two different figures, so we do have to cover both of them. They are on different bodies and stuff like that, so they are pretty different. So out of 10, man, I would give Trunks a 9 out of 10. I really, really like Trunks. I think they did a great job on that one. Limited articulation. That's the only thing that's taken any points away from Trunk. And as for Zamasu, if I'm saying that right, the guy's pretty awkward. The guy looks great, though. I think the overall appearance of that one's good. But the articulation is super, super limited. But the paint application is good. So I'm going to meet in the middle of around 8. I think a 9 out of 10 for this guy, 8 out of 10 for this guy. And as a box set, tons of accessories. I'm going to give it an 8.5 average overall for this box set. I love all the accessories. Gives you guys tons of options to play around with. You know that the sword will be top heavy, so he even added a little tiny stand for his foot there to give him a little bit of added stability. So in my books, that goes a long way. When a toy company does it, it's the tiny things that really makes a difference in my opinion. So a big shout out to Bandai for doing such a good job on this set. As always, my friends, let me know in the comments below what you think of this set. What do you think of our score of 8.5 out of 10 for both of these? And let us know what you think of our review. Let me know in the comments below as well. Who is your favorite Dragon Ball character of all time? And what is your favorite Dragon Ball series? If you like the review, don't forget to hit that like button. And that subscribe button is there as well. If you want to support the channel, we do have a channel membership. We do have super chats. We do have a merch store. Patreon, all that good stuff, all linked in the description below. As always, my friends, we hope you enjoyed this review, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Keep collecting, stay safe, go buy some toys.
Away with you! More!